Let's let Liberty County School Board regular meeting Tuesday, February 10th, 2026, come to order. We're going to open the prayer to pledge, first on the pledge from the student.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to be here. Thank you, God, for the opportunity to serve our folks here in Liberty County and our parents, our students, Lord, our community as a whole, Father. Thank you, Lord, for that. We take that very serious. So, Father, pray that you'd help us, Lord, as we talk about the monthly business of the school board. Father, pray that you'd continue to bless us to find favor with those that can help fund the things that we are asking for. We pray, God, that they would see our plight, Father, of the need that we have, Father. Pray, God, that you bless us to conduct ourselves in a way that's always pleasing to you, and Lord, with a spirit of unity. Father, we love you and thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 2, presentation, Mr. Chad Smith.
I don't really have much of a presentation. I don't know where you're going to stand or sit. I'll get up here.
It would be, I think, for recording purposes.
Up here?
Do we have a mic up here or no? Okay.
Don't matter, Ted.
Call out,
I
Chad.
can do that.
Thank you, Chad.
All right, so have a lot of questions regarding the school zone cameras. That got approved by the county in the last county commissioner meeting to install the school zone cameras in the county and all the school zones. These cameras are not active 24/7. They are active 30 minutes before school up until 30 minutes after school. They will not be active on holidays, weekends, anytime that children are not on campuses. So some are, we can elect to turn them on if you have 21st Century down at Toller or Hosford, or you have high school, summer school. They can be turned on during those hours. But they're not 24/7. So at the end of the day, 30 minutes after school is out, they go off. They don't capture pictures anymore. If you're speeding, you're speeding.
So in the morning time, so regardless of when the light's flashing, school's on, like morning time and afternoon, kids are coming in and leaving.
Okay.
When the light's off, it's still monitoring people that come through.
Well, at the posted speed limit,
At the posted
regular speed
Right.
limit, not 20 miles.
when the lights are off. So this one is 20 miles an hour, right? So it's gonna be, if you go 31 miles an hour, it's gonna send you a citation. Right, during the school zone,
When it's flashing out.
when it's flashing.
Yeah.
When it goes off and the speed limit is 35, if you're running 46 on 20, it's gonna send you a ticket. It's
And
gonna
that's
send you
what hours?
from 8:15, you know, whatever the school zone time is here, until the school zone light comes back on in the afternoon,
2:30 or whatever.
and then it drops back down to 20, right?
Okay.
And then 30 minutes after school.
So and then when that light flips off, 30 minutes after school, it's not monitored.
Back, not monitoring, it comes back on in the morning, 30 minutes before school.
And excuse me, 11 miles an hour over.
Right.
You know, that's pretty good speed to the school zone.
Yes.
And let me ask you the sequence in which the tickets electronically go through. If I were to get a ticket, where does that ticket electronically go to first? Where's the first stop?
So it's gonna be the ultimate is the first one, right? Are you asking me?
Electronically,
So
Where
we're
is
going, the Liberty County Sheriff's Office reviews every citation before it's sent.
okay.
So I just printed these, they're still a little warm. Some fact sheets.
Like so.
Some of them do, but
I didn't bring with me today. Everyone prepared, but anybody over here want one? Yeah, y'all share that, yeah, thank you.
And if they wanted to, if someone wanted to, challenge their ticket,
They have that ability, yes, ma'am.
same thing they do with
Same
a
thing.
regular.
Right, so this is a
Judge.
civil, initially it's a civil citation,
Mhm.
you know if you're speeding or not, typically, right? So people will pay it. It's a civil citation. It doesn't cause you points on your license, it's not gonna cause your insurance to go up. It's a civil citation. It's $100. Sheriff Arnold made it clear to the board that Liberty County Sheriff's Office didn't want any of the money. Don't want any of it, that it can go to other emergency services in this county. It's not about the money.
And let me ask you a question, because now, when the sheriff's office writes a ticket. Let's talk about that
Yes,
money.
ma'am.
All right, so that money, do we get any of that money off of a regular ticket?
We get $12.50,
Okay, how much will we get off of these?
$60 a ticket, citation, $60, this broke down. I don't have that in front of me, but I can tell you.
He did, I wanted to reiterate that.
Right, so-
Because that's a lot, where they're going back, the money's going back to the state coffers now.
Right.
And I know, I'll see you everywhere, out there, everywhere writing tickets.
Right.
We're getting $12.50 for our officers to walk up to a vehicle and take their lives in their hands.
Every day.
That's what they sign up for, I get that, but now, and you know, this electronic system will produce more revenue.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And there's a portion of it, and I apologize, I don't have those numbers, I know the sheriff did his live, and there's a portion that goes to the school board itself. So there's a portion that goes to emergency services, there's a $5 school crossing guard that is statutorily mandated in that citation, that's got to go to a school crossing guard program, something we don't have. What I told the board when we talked about it was, listen, I would love to have a school crossing guard in my school crossings, right? Then I can pull my SRO, he can be on the campus, feet on the ground, looking, seeing these kids come in the door, monitoring their demeanors, saying hello. That is impactful, right? That is important. But we're out there, standing in the school zone, waiting on the kid to ride up on his bicycle or walk, maybe his moped, whatever it is, and get them across Highway 12, Highway 20, Highway 65. I'm hoping, I am in hopes that if this program provides us enough of a $5 fee to that we'll be able to start at. I'm more comfortable having my SRO on that campus first thing at 7:30 in the morning, looking at saying hello to these children. It just means more to me. It's important to have them out there to get them across the road. It's more important to me to have them on that campus, looking at them face to face, you know, maybe a mad parent. You know, they've got to come from that school zone and go up there, but they've got to get a phone call first, right? So we're reactive, where we can be proactive by already being standing there with them.
Do you remember a rough estimate of the dollars that we would anticipate on an annual basis proceeding into the county? Just a rough anywhere close?
I remember talk, but I don't want to give you, the ballparking was somewhere in the middle.
I think we need to caveat too, that when they did the pilot, when they looked at this, if y'all talked about this, there was no red light in Hosford.
Right.
So there was no point, you know, there were just, that was a lot of it was coming from from 20 up there. So now I would assume that number may come down because there's a red light there.
That number went up, actually went up, so they just did another, that was something the board made that business do, was pull another survey. Now that the red light's there, and those numbers went up.
So those people's mad, they don't sit there so long and they don't even take off real fast.
They are.
Or just see that they see green light, they.
And they trying to get through.
So this would be a question, and we might not have the information, and I don't know who has rights to what funds and where, I don't know all the ins and outs, but kind of the first thing that I thought of number one, student safety is paramount. Child safety, 100%, we want to take care of a kid. I think it's a great idea to take care of them. Spending off of that safety is also, if, depending on the usage of these monies, if it could maybe help get another school resource officer in the school. I don't know where these funds would go, but if you could have an additional resource officer, or, you know, Mr. Ricky, I'm sure could identify, you know, maybe a high need. I mean, I think that could be a great thing. So that's just kind
They
of.
wanted to put another, I think that's something Dusty.
Well, we've added, what people don't realize, we've actually added a resource officer. You've added Sidney Johnson. This year, we got 4 resource officers, 4 full-time resource officers. We've never had 4 before.
But he floats
through
school to
the-
school, right?
Yeah, through the K-9 grant, we now have a resource officer that we can put wherever we feel necessary to put him. If I'm having special functions or whatever, he goes there, he's extra coverage. He covers, we don't have to worry about pulling the deputy off the street anymore that don't know what's going on in the schools. He takes and falls in place for anybody that's sick, anybody that's on vacation, whatever. So we've improved where we now have 4 resource officers.
That's wonderful.
So,
It's great, but
you
Good
know,
enough.
it's.
And your guardians.
And
Yeah.
we have resource officers at every school. There's not probably, I can count on one hand, the number of districts in the state of Florida that has a resource officer, a full-time resource officer at an elementary school. It just don't happen. They use guardians. We have guardians and resource officers. I have more guardians in my small school district, thanks to Mr. Superintendent and Sheriff, than any district in this part of Florida. Most districts have 12 schools, they might have 12 resource officers. We got 3 schools, we got 14 resource officers, basically, with our guardians and our
That's already
SREs.
done. Well,
So you know, where they got
They
one
saved
gun,
enough.
they got one gun on the ground inside a school, we have 4 at just about every school we have. So, I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, we've made a lot of improvements.
we greatly appreciate that.
You know,
And I wanna say, listen, Liberty County should be proud.
Yes,
My guardians, my SROs, I just went over to Bay and we modeled a lot of our guardian program after Bay. They were one of the first in the state to come up with or to initiate that guardian program. And let me tell you, he is impressed. He's impressed. And I would put any of my guardians and SROs against any of his guardians.
Yeah.
Any day.
Mr. Chad, how many, when we had that kid at 21st Century had the old cell phone? You remember that a couple of years ago and called 911 and it was screaming and hollering? You remember that?
Oh, yes.
We had,
6 weapons on school campus within 3 minutes of the phone call.
that really happened. And it was 21st Century after school.
Yeah,
And it was amazing how many people were there within 3 minutes.
we actually had 6 weapons on campus with the child within 3 minutes of the phone call.
And there was a kid that had an old cell phone, brought it, you know, it didn't work, but it will
But it
still
still
dial
does
911. So they were dialing 911 from the playground, and all we could hear was kids hollering and screaming, you know, playing. And buddy, it was the cavalry came in, and it was within 3 minutes. It was realized what had happened.
Will this, is this something that like will be posted on your website? You know, that people have questions regarding these cameras and everything, that they can go and get a little FAQ on this?
Absolutely. So the sheriff asked me, a little while ago to create this fact sheet and, make this for parents, school parents and students. And, we're gonna pass this out.
I mean, it might be beneficial to put this on our website as well.
I don't know if that's.
If that's something,
I don't mind.
just for information purposes, it seems like it would be a good
When
idea.
is the move start date?
So we haven't even signed a contract,
Okay.
but what it was the other night was just an agreement to be in communication with the company and to move forward with any permitting process that we have. So we still got to sign a contract. That has not been done. The county commissioners are gonna sign that contract. And, but right now, you know, what Chad's done the legwork on these camera systems. He's been, in contact with the company after the Board of County Commissioners approached us. You know, Mason wasn't on the board at that time, but the rest of you guys were. Y'all voted 5-0 in favor of these cameras, and then it
Well,
went over.
let me clarify that. cause I went back and looked at the YouTube. Cause I had gotten a call,
Yep.
that, you know, said that the school board did not agree with the cameras. Well, I was very adamant, yes, we did. And so I went back, got the YouTube videos. It actually was a presentation that a vendor came in.
Right.
I probably was the most vocal about it and how in favor I was, and I will go ahead and fall on that sword because I can't start running my mouth. But anyway, I don't think it was a vote, but I want you to know,
Yep.
and I can't speak for these others.
Right.
But Dusty Arnold, Chad, I am proud of y'all. Anything that helps and keeps our children safe, it's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. And if that Steel Ref 250 slides through there and it gets a ticket, then I need my butt handed to me. I need a ticket, okay? I got no shit in my game at all.
Yeah.
But, and I will say this out loud, as I told Dusty the other day. Toller is tricky. Toller, you're dropping from a 45 to a 20. And almost you have to stand on your head, you know. I don't know if the state would be willing to look at that again. Up here, you're supposed to be going 35, I think.
35 through here.
Yeah, through here, so you're dropping down to 20. Well, I mean, you know, if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong, but, you know, dropping from a 45 and you about can't even see. Benny did get the trees cut, you know, but I think that we need a little bit more notice, signage maybe. I don't know if it'll be with the.
Will the cameras be like on the pole that the flashing lights on?
No.
Or
You'll
will it be
have
a
the
little
flashing
bit
lights,
faster?
you'll have the camera.
Okay.
If y'all go through Greensboro, you'll see, and,
All the others are it's about
yeah,
20 yards maybe. But
So you got a little bit longer.
Sign and the camera.
The camera needs to be where it's looking at the light,
well,
because if it's not, you're gonna have problems.
To see,
Okay.
to see the light flashing.
To see the light flashing, because 99% of the time it's not right. Right now, you got right here one flashing 24/7.
Lights, you're saying the lights aren't
You
right?
got one right here flashing that's 24/7, says 15 miles an hour.
Yeah,
The other end, you got one flashing that says 20.
And that's DOT,
that's
right?
DOT.
No, it ain't.
Who is it? Who put those, who put those lights up? Did we ever figure it out?
And the city is in charge of it. DOT has nothing to do with it.
I had this sign moved because it was down here in the neighborhood. This is not a school on this side really anymore. I did some research on that sign. That sign was 7 years in the works. In the meantime of that sign being put in, Liberty County High School had moved from here to over there. It was put in for Liberty County High School to slow people down on this road coming up beside the school.
And the city did that
And
sign as your research?
the city don't even know who put it in. It was just
It
there.
showed up, it just showed
I
up.
think DOT did.
Inside
I'm
the
saying,
city.
I thought DOT.
What about Oxford? Is Oxford DOT?
Yes, because it's two state roads.
On 20?
Yes, we had a big fuss about the electrical bills.
They had a big problem with it. I don't know if they still are.
So, me personally, it needs to be where you can see that sign too, because people, if I tell you I didn't do it because the light wasn't flashing, you say, well, you need to see that sign.
so we were gonna go a little bit above and beyond. We're gonna have the SRO actually look to make sure the sign is flashing. They're gonna radio to our dispatch. So there is a recording that we have a recorded document that the light is flashing.
You got to be able to see them. Listen, I've been doing this 20-something years. Them lights are constantly a problem. If you don't see that light, it's gonna be hard when somebody disputes that it wasn't flashing. It's your word against theirs.
No, I think we're gonna have some growing pains with.
And-
Be a vendor question.
And Bloodstown had those same growing pains.
You know, we
And
can't fix everything right, that
Yeah.
may be
But it's
something
easy to solve if
consideration,
you're
but-
looking at that light and that speed, all that at the same time.
If it's, that shouldn't be an issue, should it? Ain't that the flashing?
Because they've not been put up yet.
well, your signs are facing outward. And so your camera would have to be on the other side, which would cause an issue.
Yeah.
The camera's inside
Cause then you're hitting them before
So
they get into
what we
the
could
zone.
possibly do is see if the county, DOT and the city can place some type of indicator on the back of the flashing sign. Maybe like a red light or something to let us know
For it to pick up.
that it's on.
But they,
Some type of indicator letting us know when the camera takes the picture, that it can see that light down there and it have some type of indicator on.
is there any way for those to talk to one another? The lights and the cameras? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, they're all on, they're gonna be on the timer. Is what they, yeah.
Okay. I'm sure there's gonna be growing pains.
But they need to be synced together, like you just said.
I mean, I don't.
And it almost like it needs to be synced, the camera needs to be synced with the actual light itself.
Yes.
Not the timer, but when power comes on, to make that light flash, it comes on to make that camera do this thing.
And there might be.
Because he's right, if it's off the
I
counter,
don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
There might be some way they can link them together.
even think about it.
So I'm writing these notes down right now.
Yeah, that
I'm gonna ask about, see if there's a way to link the lights and the cameras together.
Well, it's hard to give somebody a ticket, because if they can do 45 and the speed limit's 20, well, that's 11 miles an hour over, if that light ain't flashing,
And
and that happens
Well,
regularly.
people aren't gonna slow down if it's not flashing.
No, it's not.
You, me, cause we don't realize, we don't look at our clocks, oh, that light should be on.
I've
Yeah.
been watching, I've been driving the bus almost every day, been watching. I'll go through Toller, one end will be flashing, one end won't. This week,
That's how Oxford was a year or two.
Who do you report to when that happens?
report to, I report to, at Toller, we, report Booty. With the county,
Who?
with the county.
Yeah,
Do they fix it?
Well, I mean, they have to call a company. They don't work on them. We don't have a person in this county that can work on these lights. You have to call a company out of Tallahassee, a traffic company out of Tallahassee has to come over and work on it. They put you on a schedule. It might be 5 days before that traffic company can get here and work on the light.
Wow.
I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, and they have
It
to
is
be.
documented that we've been having problems with.
Yes,
these
I mean, we
lights.
call and we let people know that they're not working like they're supposed to, or the timer's off or whatever, but if you go through that light and it's not working. Call me and let me know, but most of the time I've already called, because time one of them's not working, somebody calls, and then I forward it on to somebody else, but then, like I say. We have to be put on on the schedule with the traffic company out of Tallahassee, and they have to send a truck over here to work on.
that's the reason they need to be looking at the light. If you can't tell that light's on, it's hard to get somebody a ticket. It messes up all the time. It's like a fire alarm in State Store.
that's some girl thing, will.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Y'all get.
So we can actually put that on Parent Square, and we can put it on website closer to time.
Yeah.
When all these things are worked out, when you get ready, let's say, you say, okay, drop dead date, we're gonna start December 1.
Yeah.
Then what we'll do is, and I know you're gonna do some public information stuff, say, get ready, because what I understand, they'll send out warnings to begin with.
30 days.
And then, yeah, we can aid in that information, getting that
But
out.
nothing's been signed. These are all questions I've been going to Chad every day and asking him certain
Good
things,
questions.
you know. The thing that we're fighting the most right now is the misinformation. I mean, this is not the flock cameras, this is not the LPRs. This is strictly for school zones, state statute. There's a state statute for these cameras. And it's been approved by our legislature. And so, anyway, we just wanted you guys to have the facts, so if you guys are asked, y'all can answer the questions. And so, like I said, no contract's been signed yet. It's, all these questions are gonna be answered before we even decide. So,
Dusty, Chad, would there be a benefit? It sounds like it will happen. We just don't know the time or the company or maybe every single bit of every detail, most of them, but not every detail.
Right.
Would it be helpful to get in front of this, just to let the community, like from the school board side, to go ahead and say, hey, listen, refer to the sheriff's office or some informational source to say, this is coming, it's gonna happen, just to let people know. And it can be beneficial to have conversations like this in the community, be able to address or express concerns. That way they're fixed before they happen, right? I mean, just like taking a picture of the light scenario, somebody might come up with something nobody's thought about, they can share with you, right, to address and fix before it's a problem. I don't think it would be a bad idea, us going ahead and sharing information now to, hey, this is how you get in touch with the sheriff's office, this is their information source, it come from the school, where we're ahead of it. I think it would be a good idea for the school to do that now. And then when it finally does drop, when we have all the details shared again, that would be my recommendation from the board.
Like you said, Parent Square, that's the way we get a hold of our parents and, you know, and we share this information and, you know, they're welcome to, I'm sure, Kyle, through you or whomever, to ask questions and be relayed on to you through our parents, you know, in our schools, but I think getting this information out and, you know, and this is probably gonna be a living document because you may change it or you may add to it. So, you know, and just let people know that, you know, this is not written in stone. This is a living document. We're gonna change it, you know, if it needs to be changed. But I think you're correct. Misinformation, and it is a select few, that it's saying that, you know, not liking this, but at the end of the day, what's the goal? And it's
Protect
about
kids.
safety of the children.
Yep.
So it's hard to buck that, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And the thing is, and maybe I didn't say it well enough last week. Being a former trooper, I know the facts when it's pedestrian versus vehicle. I've seen enough bad stuff in my time as a trooper to know that a pedestrian has a 14% survival rate when the vehicle's going over 40 miles an hour. And until you've seen a pedestrian killed by a vehicle, I mean, it stays with you for the rest of your life. And I know, like I said, I know there's a lot of people not a lot of people, but there's a few people that don't want this, but if it helps save one child, then it's been worth it. So, and I'm not one to wait till something happens and then react.
Well,
That's just not how
it's
I
very
am.
clear, Dusty and Chad, it's very clear. You have emergency management to plan for disasters, whether it be a hurricane, tornado, flood, whatever it may be. We're doing the same thing. We're getting prepared. We've got SROs. We've increased our SROs. What are we doing that for? Because just in case something did happen, we're ready, you know? And again, like you said, you got a plan, you know, but you got to pray that for the best to happen, that it don't ever happen, but it could happen.
Yeah.
So you got to be ready for it. So listen, like I said, I ain't got no point about it all.
Well, whatever help I can give us, one, be it the board and personally to the sheriff's office for this, I'm 100% favor of it. Thank y'all. I appreciate everything y'all do to keep us safe.
Appreciate y'all.
No, I don't have any less, unless you have any more questions for me. I appreciate your time. Listen, I've heard some questions. I'm gonna get some answers. And I will come back at the next meeting and give you the answers to these questions. Or I'll email you and I'll give you your answer. So we're gonna be transparent, right? Good, bad, and ugly.
Thank you.
Okay.
We appreciate it.
on move.
Thanks, Gary, for coming.
Hey, y'all.
I appreciate it, I appreciate it.
Y'all got it made in here.
Yeah.
This is nothing like a
Thank
county.
you.
What's that?
Y'all got it made in here. These meetings.
I keep them.
Nobody shows up.
Share.
I knew y'all they were coming.
Any other questions? If not, we'll move on to, item 3, public comment. We didn't have any. Moving on to item number 4, superintendent's report, Mr. Betty.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Very quickly, I know we've got a baseball game and I know we've got a parent here to go. At the end of the meeting, very briefly, and I do mean briefly, I want to share an update to our strategic plan. I had sent that out to y'all, I believe, on the 5th. I always do it in Excel. And when we got ready to print it out, I think Mason brought attention, is there a easier way to do that? And when we started doing it, it was microscopic. So my apologies for that. We'll figure out a better format with Excel to make that, but we've made some, got some copies for you today. Kind of blown up where you can actually make some notes, but I'm not asking y'all to take any action today. Just want to talk about it, because I've added a seventh goal there. We'll talk about that. Also want to talk about school start times. There's been legislation that passed that said no high school can start before 8:30. That's actually the law now. But there's an opt-out that we can do. I think I'll talk to you about that. So anyway, I want to start the opt-out process, and that starts today, letting y'all know what we're gonna opt out of. The crud is in our schools, district office. I hear some of y'all coughing. It's the fever coughing, it's taken over most of our district office, as you can tell, is not here. Katie's been out all week, Mandy's out, and Jeff drove the bus for grad bats. Now he's got it down there. So, and a lot of kids, a lot of teachers, got a lot of students out with it. And it's just, part of it's probably just going from these extreme cold temperatures to it being 70-something degrees today. So please be patient. If you reached out and asked for stuff and you hadn't got it, please reach out to me and we'll make sure we get that to you. But most of these folks are recovered at home. They are working as much as they can. Softball bleachers, part of those have arrived. I think there's some more stuff coming. They got all here today. Our construction class, Mr. Schuler is going to help out utilizing our students with the construction and the erection of those bleachers. Kevin and I talked, we're going to put them together, get them to put them together, and then we're going to kind of look and then be able to back them up and then pour the slab and then put them on the slab. We'll know more placement once we get them built. And I think that was a good thing because we can actually move them and then we'll put them on the slab. And so that's here. That's right on time. That was the schedule. I think the 10th is when they said they would be here. Very thankful to Culpeper, Roberts for their work on the track. We could about stripe it right now. We'd have a track meet, but we still have one more phase of that. Rodney Reams is the guy that's doing the rubber coating. Mason brought in a sample color tonight. We were kind of comparing it to some of the garnet, but it's a rubber recycle surface. If you want to look at that, I encourage you. I'll just pass it down and y'all can look at that.
Will it be? It'll be. I mean, the stripes. What color will the stripes be?
They'll be white.
White.
Yeah, they'll be
Well,
white.
It's gonna get golden.
Yeah, you have to have some real contrast in that, so they'll need to be white.
I got you.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. And there's going to be there'll be the same thing we're talking about. Me and Kevin have talked about all these possible scenarios, what you can, what you can't do. There's going to be learning curves for the track. The days of driving homecoming girls is over. I hate that. The guy told us last week, me and Jared Roberts talked, he said, if you're taking a mower and you go straight across to it and don't turn, not a problem. But you just can't turn on that stuff. And so we're going to have to put mats down. Cleats is bad for it. Obviously, any vehicular traffic, you can't do that anymore. And then, once we get everything there, we're going to have to look at some fencing. But traffic will not bother it. So that's a big learning curve. We'll figure it out once we get everything done. We've talked about the field events, where those are going to go. Javelin's probably going to go north of the way bleachers. Shot put and disc south side of the way bleachers. High jump closer to the old concession stand. I met with Buzzy. Thinks that's probably a good spot. We'll still kind of play around, see where the best spot is for them to come from the left and right. And then probably a pole vault, maybe behind the old concession stand, make a little runway back there. And it's gonna be nice. We'll figure all that out. Placement is huge, but we'll make sure that we get it where it's not going to be a problem for something else down the road for any other thing. So very, very grateful for all the people that have worked on that. SRSO, that is the Secure Rural Schools. This affects County Commission. It affects in the Sheriff's Office. This is our forest money. It affects us hugely. They were going to do a Zoom today at 4, but they moved it to Thursday. I'm going to send you a link to that. We're going to talk about fiscal year 2027 and the expiration. So for 2027, 2026 is going to expire, believe it or not. So gone in arrears for 24-25, And then 26 we'll get a payment, but for 27, it expires in 26 for the 27 fiscal year. So I want to encourage y'all. I'm not always going to be here down the road, but I really want y'all to, as much as you can, to really familiarize yourself with secure rural schools and the plight of our coalition. So if you'd like to get in on that Zoom, I'm gonna send y'all that link tomorrow. Number 6, we're requesting, as we had already talked about, we're just gonna open up a little $500 account. We can make it $100, make it $300. But just open an account with Calhoun Liberty Credit Union. We'll be discussing a calendar of transition next month or two on doing that. So we've got the ball rolling on that. Once we get an account with them, then we can start some talking about future stuff per your wishes. That is 100% board's purview on who we bank with as our depository. We're working on transition planning. We have some staff in some rural leadership positions, not only here at the district office, some at some of our schools who are retiring. We're currently advertising for Laura's job, the director of ESC. I've told her I don't have, which she doesn't have to leave us, but she is going to enjoy the next season of her life. She's been phenomenal and has been the only director of ESC that we've ever had. And so she has set the bar very, very high. We went ahead and advertised for that with a start date of July 1. So we want somebody, hopefully that job closes Friday. We want to go ahead and start interviewing some folks and hopefully have somebody named that can come in and start shadowing with her and pick her brain of all the institutional knowledge that she possesses. And we'll have some other positions you'll start seeing show up that will be replacing some of these folks that are moving on to bigger and brighter things. Our funding requests in the legislature still looking good. Rural Renaissance is not looking good. From our talks to people in the House, it's just not going to pass. The House will not take it up. And so some of our lobbyists say, well, there's a grim possibility, but in talking to our elected leadership in the House, ain't gonna happen. I'm almost verbatim saying it. Next year, not a problem. You'll have new governor, new leadership in the House and the Senate. It's going to happen, but they're just telling us it ain't gonna happen. That's huge for Liberty County. We need that. Our panhandle needs it, but right now it's not looking good. But our asks are looking good. Early release date is Friday, February 13th. Don't forget Valentine's Day. I put in my Monday message Monday morning. Dollar General is there to serve you, and if Dollar General don't have it, you don't need it. She don't need it. All right. Quote Jason on that. Okay. No school and work on Monday, February 16th, which is the following Monday in observance of President's Day. Our girls have made Sweet 16 at high school in basketball. That's phenomenal. Got a great girls team. Had a great boys team this year. Their season came to an end, but they played hard. The girls will be playing Malone on Friday at 7:00 Eastern time. I mentioned this to some of y'all. Gulf County Superintendent Jim Norton will be announcing his candidacy for Congress tomorrow at 12:00 our time, St. Joe's on our time, at the Constitution Monument in Port St. Joe, and I put the address there, 200 Allen Memorial Highway. So if you would like to go to that, he has requested anybody and everybody like to come for his public announcement running for Congress. Lastly, update from Ted Roush with Fleet. Katie and Mason and I got to meet with Ted a few months ago at the end of last year, talked about what a self-insured program would look like through Fleet for Liberty County. And one of the things that's been the hurdle that Ted's been working on, I talked to him today just to make sure I was telling y'all the right thing, is that United Healthcare, some of these healthcare companies was not wanting to compete with CHP in districts that have less than 200 enrollees in a healthcare program. And so now they have switched gears on that, and United Healthcare and Florida Blue has said, we'll absolutely cover a Liberty County. They're in Hamilton County today. So I asked Ted if he would come do a workshop. And so he said, so I'll be giving y'all some dates, or Renee will probably call y'all, give y'all some dates to pick from and get Ted to come in here. I would rather not do it the same day we do a meeting so we don't feel rushed. We just kind of sit there and talk about it and not not say, well, we gotta hurry, I know there's just sometimes in the evenings with ball games and all, we try to get out of here a little quicker, so, that's wonderful news for us. It's a really good plan, and slowly but surely, they're building a group. And Mason, that's what he told us they were gonna do, and he's doing that. He's building a group of school districts that are signing on with that. Is it perfect for us? I don't know yet. We still just in that fact finding mode.
Did they give a time frame for when they think that things were gonna start coming together and it's gonna be a viable option for us?
Yeah, he feels like now.
Oh.
Yeah.
This next time we come up for open.
If we want to, yeah. So we've got, I think, got 1 year left, with them, but we can absolutely change. We can change at any time with certain notices. So anyway, that's that. I will cover that at the end, and if y'all will let me be brief, I promise you I will be brief. I know that's hard to believe when a preacher says it's gonna be brief, but I promise you I won't keep you long, but I do want to sit at the table so I can look at y'all. I'm gonna take the laptop and kind of go over a few things, on that other. So, any questions? Mr. Chair?
Thank you, Mr. President. Move right on item number 5, addition correction to agenda. Item 8, need a motion to approve addition correction to consent item 8B. Motion. Motion, Ms. Jody, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Keeper, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item B, need a motion to approve adding emergency item 10A and B. Have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Morris, who's the second? Second, Ms. Keeper,
Yes, sir.
any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 6. Need a motion to approve agenda for February the 10th, 2026. Have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Ms. Secretary, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Jody, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 7. I need a motion, item 8, need a motion to approve January 13th, 2026 regular meeting minutes. Have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Moore, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Jody, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item B, need a motion to approve January 22nd, 2026 special meeting minutes. Motion.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Secretary, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Keeper, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to item 8, consent item 8. Need a motion to approve the following January 2026 financial reports and transactions. Have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Keeper, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Secretary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to item B. Need a motion to approve February 26th personnel consent table with addition of corrections. Have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Keeper, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Jody, any discussion?
Yeah, I have some questions. A comment first off. I know that we've had administrators stepping up because they have to help out with a lot of these changes. I appreciate them doing so. I do have, I'm sure, just like Kyle and every other administrator are concerned with all that they're having to carry the load on.
Yeah.
How are things looking for us as far as bringing people in to fill positions that are needed? Right now?
Yeah, so, the one that's been the thorn in my side was the kindergarten class at Hosford. Danielle went in there in October. We do have somebody in there now. When I asked y'all to pass the special emergency provision, I went in there, I've gone in there a couple times, last week, this week, just checking in, meeting with Danielle. Miss Rogers is phenomenal. She's doing really good. She's starting to kind of pull out a little bit. We're paying her as a parapro now, but she'll have her degree in March. Hopefully in about 3 weeks. So once she gets that, then we can pay her teacher salary per the emergency provision. But that's been the big one. We have hired a math teacher down at Toller, and that person starts in about a week, I think. So I will say this, and Laura and me and Jeff and Mandy and Katie are in a text loop. I am very proud of our administrators who don't mind going in and filling that. They don't mind, and they do it very well. Tim Davis just went down and taught algebra. He's a math teacher, taught my kids. So everybody's it's been all hands on deck, and our administrators don't blink. When they know that there's a need, they just go do it. And so we know that's not the absolute thing we want to do, but for example, in that kindergarten class, if that class suffers, it affects those children the rest of their career in school. So we want to make sure we get it right, do what's best for kids, and And I believe it proves our district staff who have been going in and teaching eighth grade math, seventh grade math, whatever needed doing until that teacher gets here. They've done such a phenomenal job.
So the
Very
relief
proud.
has come, is what you're saying, the relief has come to.
Oh, yeah, we've made the hire. Yeah. Mhm.
I want to comment on that, because my granddaughter was one of those children that went through 5 teachers
Mhm.
as a kindergartner.
Don't want to ever do that again.
No, and I know that they're stepping in, and I appreciate that too. That's a lot to have to do their regular job and then turn around and teach as well. All these positions that they're stepping in, are we confident? I know we've hired, kindergarten, hear that. Are we gonna be able to fill these positions? Because again, you have, let's just say Jeff, you have Jeff, and then you have another teacher, and then you may have another teacher, and then you've got, that's a lot, for these kids to go through in one school year.
Yeah, but they've had
suffering.
Yeah, well, they've had one teacher up until now, until their teacher left. They've had one
Yeah.
teacher. So, it's only in the interim for that. The longer interim was the kindergarten class at Oxford. That was the one that took very long to find a teacher,
Yeah.
to get somebody. The best time to get a teacher is in the summer. Usually the second best time is Christmas, and that's when this one came to light. But she was real close to finishing her degree, but not quite there. Needed a couple more months, but she, her background, her degree is in early childhood ed. So it's right in line with what we need her to do. But all those positions will now be filled.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, thanks to the administration.
Mhm.
Stepping in.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 6. Need a motion to approve February 2026 update sublease. Motion.
Motion.
Mr. Keeper, second.
Second.
Second, Singletary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item D, need a motion to approve February 2026 update supplement list. Have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Keeper, second, Mr. Singletary, huh?
Morris.
Oh, I'm sorry, Moore. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, E, need a motion to approve updated personnel list. Have a motion?
Motion.
Ms. Jody, second.
Second.
Mr. Singletary. Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. That's item 9. Item 8, need a motion to approve, create, advertise student OJT tutor position. Motion.
Motion.
Motion, Ms. Jody, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Keeper, any discussion?
Yeah, how long has this been around, this opportunity? How long have we been doing this type of thing?
Few years.
Has it been a few years?
Yeah. The only bad thing about it goes to UF.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's pretty.
Dang.
And okay, that was a joke. The University of Florida does this. It's actually a wonderful program. We've had it for quite a number of years, and another good way of exposing some kids to education. Maybe it scratches a little itch if they've got some aspirations maybe to teach, they can kind of get involved now. No, we're very grateful for our partnership with the University of Florida.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item B. Need a motion to approve audit general final report number 2026-083 for fiscal year ending June 30, 2025. Have a motion?
Motion.
Ms. Jody, second, Mr. Keeper. Any discussion?
Yeah, two things, there seem like in this, financial report, we're getting things stronger in line as far as compliance standards, things of that nature, so grateful for that. One of the things that really stuck out is the need for local business and the improvement or increase in local business for tax revenues. And I'm bringing this up to say, me speaking for myself, and I think most of us on the board would agree, don't want to speak for y'all, whatever we can do to help facilitate anything business wise, I'm happy to do. Whatever we can do as a board to help facilitate chamber of commerce, any type of economies of scale coming into our rural community. It's a stark reminder when you look at the financials and you see, just how little the tax benefit is for how coming into the school system because of the lack of business. It's pretty shocking when you take a look at the numbers and grand scale of things. So I say that to say, maybe they won't see this. I appreciate the state and legislators and all those that do so much to help with our funding from the federal and state side. And I think grants, it makes a huge impact. I know our administrators have done great jobs bringing in grants and facilitating grants, and it's greatly appreciated. If it weren't for those things, we would be in hot water, as they say. You know, we really would be. So that's a reminder, to me of that. So, whatever I can do to help facilitate things, happy to. But again, thank y'all for all your hard work in making that come together.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item C, need a motion to approve Director of Finance, Katie Gunn, travel expenditure of attendance to the Core Board Institution of Florida School Finance 2026. Have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Singletary, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Kibble, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Item D, need a motion to approve Director of Finance, Katie Gunn, travel expenditure for attendance to the 26th Spring FASFTA Forum, March 31st through April 2nd in St. Augustine, Florida. Motion.
Motion.
Motion from Morris,
Second.
second, Mr. Kibble. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Next item E, need a motion to approve Director of Curriculum, Sandy Fowler, travel expenditures for attendance to the 2026 Spring FASF EPA Forum, March 31st to April 2nd, St. Augustine, Florida. Motion.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Secretary, second, Mr. Keeper. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item F. Need a motion to approve superintendent travel expenses for attendance to the THADS 2026 Spring Leadership Conference, April 8th through the 10th. Have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Moore, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Keeper. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item G. Need a motion to approve school calendar for 26-27 school year. Have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Keeper, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Singletary. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, Kyle, I assume we not went up in the pickle we did with the prom and all that. And then everybody's checked prom and you remember
Graduation.
when we had graduation, softball and all.
Yeah, all that's good. Now,
Okay.
prom.
I thought there was something with prom.
I don't
Okay, maybe.
But as far as like, if we
Yeah, advance on.
on softball, yeah, we.
Okay.
Mhm.
I know we had a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fixed that last year and this year. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. It was a mess.
So I searched for this, but I didn't make a call. Does anybody know tentatively which of all the colleges is gonna have their spring break? Coming up next,
It's the same, it's the same design. We matched theirs.
so we did match it. All right, I couldn't find it online, but good, that's great.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item H. Need a motion to approve Liberty Environmental and construction estimate for quarterly pumping out the grease traps at Hartford Elementary, County Office, Preschool, Liberty County High School, and W.R. Toller. Have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Moore, second, Mr. Singletary. Any discussion?
Yeah, so question for you, what makes this right here any different than any other expenditure? Like, why is this being brought up? Just out of curiosity.
What's contract? Contract.
So we're entering into a contract that hasn't been entered into before. This is brand
Well,
brand
Mr.
new.
Wilson, we had a contract with him and he
Okay.
stopped doing it, so we got somebody new.
All right, I got you. I'm for you.
Not that it matters, but who is that?
It's
Stephen Hobby.
Stephen Hobby,
Stephen.
yeah, he's on business.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Just so y'all know about this too, Hosford's drain field system over there on the ball field ain't looking good.
Yeah, man, for.
Well, it's
Looking
looking
worse.
worse problems. We're probably gonna have to do something with those tanks, probably start pumping them on a regular basis as well, those big tanks, just to relieve that pressure some.
Well, do we need to go get the bids or is this something we're gonna,
Well, they almost weren't here doing it. Ain't nobody.
I got, so it's a sole source, so, I mean.
Who would
is
that
there a
be like?
reason we don't go
Well, no, we could get him to do it, it's a lot more expensive, because them tanks are huge,
Yes.
I'm talking about.
And the turn for him to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
problem.
that sounds like a need, we need to.
Well,
The system coming out of this is not a good system, and that's the problem.
It's terrible. So I'll let you know when it's done. Promise you.
Yeah, but it's just, it was a bad system when they
Right,
built
I
the
mean,
school.
what I'm saying is, okay, if we need to plan for this in our next year budget, you know,
It'll
this is a
be- it'll
big
be-
amount, then.
It'll be when you say, hey, if we can't
I'll
go.
let you know in advance,
Yeah, but
I
I,
promise.
do you wanna get to that point where you
Here's
can
what's
go?
happening now, Mr. Pete knows. This, every year when baseball and softball starts, we start having problems. That's because school has went on the whole time and that drain field is saturated. Every year, he sits over and listens to the phone calls. It just.
It's been doing it since it's been there.
It's been doing it since
Ever
it's been
since
there, but
years.
it's gotten a lot worse. So this grease traps, all that gonna help some, it's gonna get some of it out, but I think we might need to start pumping that to relieve that, but.
How long,
When we
how
leave-
feasible would it be to pump it on a regular basis
Well, that's-
versus replacing it?
That's what I think gonna need to do. Cause you're gonna tear up softball and baseball field.
To replace it?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna be a high cost.
We gotta.
I think if we start, you know, we just talked about this with Mr. Mack, we might need, you know, I promise I'll let you know.
And the only place for it to be is under those ball fields, that's the only place it can go, because of the grade.
So I'll give you a little background for y'all that I know, Dude remembers this and Dude. With the whole field's out there, you know, that was a football field at one time, back when I came through, and Kevin came through hospital school. But that is a drain field, and they did not want us to put, the health department, did not want us to put fields on that. But we got a variance or whatever to be able to put those fields on there. But the problem is how the waste gets from the building out there to there. It's not a good system. They don't,
Trouble.
it's been trouble. It's just one. Yeah, it's just a bad design on the sewer system to get out there to the drain field. So,
Those 10,000 gallon tanks under there, right?
10,000?
10,000.
They're big.
How many, two?
Two big ones, and there's another small one in there too. There's several. of them.
4 or 5,000.
Plus grease
Couple
trap.
thousand.
it's amazing how stuff will get clogged right outside the brick building there. Kevin's had the trucks come in and find everything from a whole pair of blue jeans. I mean, it's
I've heard stories.
it's all true. It's all true.
So I think if we'll do this, and then maybe, we looking at it right now, we had problems last week. I may come back to y'all, Mr. Peggy, come to him, and we might need to start getting him to pump at least the last one. We might go months, every other month.
Through ball season or permanently?
Well,
I know you said it gets worse when
it
they're
gets
out
worse at the end, every year it starts having problems at the end. You know, the biggest thing is we can keep the stuff out forever getting there. There's been everything you can imagine in
there.
that.
Got you.
We don't have any waste hazards on the field, it's just a flow hazard using the facilities.
Yeah.
It's not moving like it should from the
Well,
facilities.
and the fields get stocked up because after so long, it can't handle
But
anymore.
I mean, there's no leaching coming up out of the ground.
Not on the
On the
field,
baseball.
not on the field,
Okay.
So right there behind the dugout.
yes.
Okay.
In close proximity.
Yeah.
Within nose shot.
Yes.
Probably need to put some singers labels on it, though.
Miss Joan Wright, Chris Starr, they all been trained, they know when they hear that alarm going off. They can almost do it for us now, they'll be texting me, John's bad about, or good about sending me a video, all right, here's what's happening. And we immediately take care of it.
She can hear it? She can hear that alarm?
He said the light.
You can see the light flash. Yeah, we working on that. This is a must right here. Need that passed.
We'll figure out moving forward what we need to do.
100%.
Better, maintenance of that.
Yeah.
That
Is
system.
that any, once again, is that in a 5-year plan or anything? I mean, this sounds like big money. I mean, have we put this in any
No, it's huge. money.
infrastructure planning?
It's huge money.
Okay,
So this needs to be on our radar then, as far as saving for, or seeking grant dollars for, or.
That'd be a great thing.
That'd be a great thing.
Yeah.
To redo it.
maybe we take some of this.
In 1 year that we can get it, whether it's saving or not, it's going to do it, because we know it's coming.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're exactly right. That might be a great pot of money to pull from.
I'm just telling you, I mean,
Absolutely.
hey, you gotta get where you can get,
Yeah.
you know?
We're gonna have to get that though.
It's coming now.
Yeah, I mean, this should be in an infrastructure plan. I'm telling you, this is exactly what I was.
Mr. Petty, that, if we're gonna do something, I think it needs to be backed up to the school tanks and all, and do it like it's.
The whole thing.
The whole thing needs to be done, because if you just do the drain field, the tanks is still a major problem.
Well, it sounds like the problem's right outside the building, coming out the
It
building.
is, that's what I'm saying, from the building out.
So, yeah.
Like when you, they do like prison, put in some grinders. We get blue jeans.
Well, and then the problem with that is with the grinders, they spray theirs, goes up there and spray it. We don't spray it, goes in the drain field, then it falls in the drain field. That's the problem with grinders. That's the reason it ain't already been done. You can't put grinders in a drain field. That's the reason it's not done.
The only way you put a grinder out of a drain field is if you put a screen in with an elevator and you bring it out into a dumpster. Then you have to worry about hazardous waste.
That's not an option.
That's not an option for
Not
us.
right now.
You don't wanna do that.
I mean, we did it at the prison. We put a screen in with an elevator on it. It brought it out into a dumpster and every month you had to have hazardous waste come in and get the dumpster, blah, blah, blah. And it made a big mess.
Steve, cause it's open, it's open.
We had to close it up in a building because it smelled so bad.
That's not an option.
We don't want that. Chairman, so you'll keep it.
I'll definitely keep on, but I've worked, me and Mr. Petty to talk about it.
Yeah,
Every time I find out something, I'll definitely.
yeah, we don't want people coming in from ball season and smelling septic tank, we know, so that's just my thoughts.
That's been every year, man.
Yeah.
Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next, item 9. Need a motion to approve Liberty County High School track improvements work order made as of January 22nd, 2026, and submitted by Culpeper Construction Company Incorporated. Have a motion?
Mr. Chair, if I may, I'm going to abstain from this vote. I completed it with the help of our attorney, Heather. She has, helped me create the Form 8B. It has been provided to our superintendent and Renee, your secretary, based on the fact that my husband works for well, not really for Culpeper, he works for Roberts and Roberts. So I'll be abstaining from this vote.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, same for myself as well. I spoke with our attorney, it was recommended and I choose to recuse myself from this vote as I'm employed by Roberts and Roberts, this subcontractor in the Culpeper.
Thank you, Mr. Keith.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Moore, second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Moving on, item 10, emergency items. Item 8, need a motion to approve extension of the interlocal agreement between Liberty County, Florida County and Liberty County School District. Florida School District to the health services during a state of local emergencies. Have a motion, Mr. Jody, second. Second, Mr. Secretary, discussion?
So I apologize with the emergency item, I didn't have time to review this. Were there any changes that came up in this? Is just the same?
Yearly thing.
Okay, good. Is there any high points that I need to be aware of that might be useful to know from this?
School is it,
Okay.
that we're the official shelter.
Okay,
And with that comes some additions of some extra generator power and stuff like that, which has been a blessing. So, yeah, we're the designated place.
gotcha.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Move on to item B. Need a motion to approve banking agreement with Calhoun Liberty Credit Union. Have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Keeper, second. Mr. Singletary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to item 11. Item 8, Liberty County School District Strategic Plan Update by Mr. Superintendent Mr. Petty.
All right, I'm gonna make this fast.
That was him, that was not me.
Y'all take one and pass it down. We'll start there. I'll make this. Sorry. Okay, so while you're passing out, I'm gonna start talking. The baseball game. So, first thing, strategic plan, sent that to you on February 5th. Here's how you can do this, just for this, and I'll have this in available. Do it like this, 1, 2, 3, just like that, 1, 2, 3. And then it'll give you, you'll have your goals across the top. I think Jody reached out and said, what substantive changes have we made? Not a lot, mainly dates and people who are responsible for these things. Strategic plan should not change a whole lot. It's kind of that foundational thing. First time when I became superintendent, I did my superintendent training. I had to do a presentation. I did strategic plan. That's what I want to do. Every group, government group, office can have strategic plans. First one I looked at was Gainesville, Alachua County, one page. And I was like, oh, wow, you know, some of them 25 pages, you know, somewhere in the middle, we need to have a strategic plan that addresses big picture items, not big picture issues, big picture goals. So I've identified 7 goals. We've had these now since about 2022. Nothing's changed a whole lot. Some of the things that come off, things that we've accomplished, things we've, you know, I'll give you an example. One of the things there was to get funding for the field house. Boom, it's done. We took it off. So within this, you're going to have 7 goals. You're going to have an objective. What we're trying to do, you're going to have an outcome on page 2, and then you're going to have some strategies, okay? And then timeframes, how long you want to do that. So the main one that I've added that was not on there from previous years, going back to 22, 23, is goal 7. And that's school marketing and student staff retention. Could have made that 8. I tried to combine them because I think a lot of that has to do with the same thing. Our objective there, Liberty County School District will employ marketing strategies annually to retain staff and students while emphasizing the value of opportunity, quality faculty, and superior facilities for our public education in Liberty County. I'm proud of what we have here. I want our people to know that. I think they do, but you know, now with school choice, people can take their FTE money, as we've talked about a lot over the last couple of years. About 10% of our students are not here on campus. So they're homeschooled. Now, we've always had homeschool. Believe it or not, when Doobie Hayes was in high school, at Liberty County High School, back in the 90s. Yeah. There was people homeschooled when Jody and I went to school together. Some of y'all are, we've always had homeschoolers, okay? But now, obviously, and I'm preaching to the choir, state gives the ability to take your FT money, your school, your student funding, and go wherever you want to. So right now, we're at about 90%. 95, I've talked to some other superintendents, is a great, they love 90. They said, oh, wish we were 90. Okaloosa is really struggling. They have been an A school district since the rankings even started. And they're losing students left and right. It's a you know, a lot of money in that area. So you're seeing charter schools, private schools pop up. I feel a good goal for us to start is 95% to try to get some of these students back. Now that may be a very ambitious goal, but that's a good starting point. I'd love to have 100%. I don't think we've never had 100%, and I don't think you're ever going to get 100. I'm a realist. You're never going to have 100%. You always have some students that homeschool, and we always will, always have. So the outcome is 95%. Marketing strategy. What in the world is that? Well, Fads, I shared a little bit with Jody. Fads come out with some marketing stuff, and here's kind of the thing. Florida's future powered by public schools. That's the way it's labeled. So they've got some marketing strategies over the next few months that we will be doing and participating in. I've learned a lot about Canva. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with Canva and some of the stuff that you can build. I know our church secretary does a lot of that on our church website. So that's really cool stuff. But it's a way to market here's our strategies. Marketing strategies will be employed to attract homeschool students. We'd like them to come be a part of what we got going on campus. Marketing strategies will be employed to attract instructional staff. So guess what? It's not just the kids we're trying to attract. We're trying to attract teachers. Part of that, Mason, you made a great point. You know, we need business. We need, need places for them to live here. That's our number one, just, when I talk, and I talk to teachers all the time, hey, just interested in your, is there a place, where do you live out around there? And that's where I lock up, because I have a hard time coming up and saying, well, there's Mr. Dickey's got a house in Hospital on Chester Street, he's got for sale, brand new, it's beautiful house, how much is it? And then you start talking about people's got rent, rental property and all this, and it's just tough. That's one of our number one, things that impede getting teachers. But we still got to be able to do that. So believe it or not, I have been working with the Chamber of Commerce, Mike Stewart, Libby's husband has kind of got a group together. We've been meeting at Donnie's place and talking about how can we get people to, business, good, clean business, good, small, business that comes in and generates that people in the county won't. They absolutely endorse, but it does not cause problems and it doesn't blow us up, so that's been some of those. I think we need to be at the table for that, rather than people making decisions outside of all the local government agencies, the city, the county, and the schools. So I have been participating in those, and we've been meeting about every 2 or 3 weeks at Donnie's Mills. One of the great things that helps us with this is maintaining an A district. I'm very pleased for the last 6 years we have. It makes it a little harder to do if you're a D district or you're a C district. We got counties around us that are that way, and it's tougher, and it makes people say we need an alternative. I hope that we can continue to do that. And y'all, it's a struggle. It is absolutely a struggle. Our district staff, we're looking at data. We're going from PM1 to PM2, and if there are changes need to be made, we address those changes, and hopefully by PM3 in May, that those are the scores that are going to count towards our school grade. We take it very, very seriously. Continue to lead the state in various extracurricular successes and championships. Kids can be homeschooled and still be a part of that, but we want them to be on campus. We want them to have the campus experience. We want to continue to maintain strong legislative relationships in both the Florida legislature and Congress, and I underline Congress for a reason, that help facilitate the flow of financial supports. I will not go on the record of who I am want to endorse for Congress, but I will be somewhere tomorrow, and hope you do too. We need somebody from around here who's going to help us with the forest. National Forest is a cash cow down there, and Mac McConnell did a big study probably about 15 years ago. And if they would just thin the forest, if they just went in and did the growth each year, probably net the school board about $1.5 million every year, and the county about $1.5 million. Now theirs is more restrictive. They have to use it for roads and bridges, but for us, put it in the general fund. You talking about being able to do some things, fix drain systems, teacher salaries, but that becomes a recurring expense. We learn about a renewable resource in the 4th grade. We've got a renewable resource down there. So there is legislation that has started in the Trump administration called Fix Our Forests. I hope whoever gets in there for our congressional district will have a backbone and a spine who will go in there and say, we got to do what's best for these forest counties. For us, Liberty, Leon's got a little tract, Franklin's got a little tract, and Wakulla, and maybe, and I think there's a little slither for Calhoun. So that's huge. Fix our forest. Lastly, revamp the district mission and vision statement. So this is something that I'm going to ask y'all to really be a part of, and I'm going to ask us to do this at a time that we can get together and eat. I don't know how many of y'all have been a part of mission and vision writing. I have with Donnie's camp, and I loved every minute of it. It was a lot of fun. But I can, does it, and I'll say this a little, you don't have to answer me. Do you know what our mission and vision is in Liberty County? You probably do. If you go to our website, okay, it has it, and it's about this long, okay? It's very long. It's not been updated in at least, we did it with the advanced ed. We were trying to get accreditation, and we had to have an active mission and vision. Wakulla's is very, very short. And it basically is a summation of what ours is. So I want to make sure I put this as strategy number 5. I would like for us to revamp the district mission and vision statements to align with our current priorities. Okay. I still agree with everything that's in mission and vision. Very first thing, my day one here, superintendent, I put mission and vision on my wall. Donnie's camp, we had to memorize it. A lot of people to prison, they'll have it on the prison thing. When somebody comes around for a QA audit or something, they'll say, what's your mission and vision? And at least they got it written down. I want our folks to know that. And again, it's a big picture item. What are we doing here? Why are we here? I want us to be able to communicate that to our people, which is ultimately what gives parents confidence that we know what we're talking about. So I want to ask you, if you go to About Us on the website, Lynn's got a good little clicker there. You click on About Us, tells everything about us with our mission and vision. It's long, it's good, but it's long. Okay. So that's one thing I would like your feedback on, and any of this, the whole document. If you would, what I'd like to do, I think it'd be more advantageous if you make some notes, and I'll try to get this in a better format that y'all can actually see a little bit better, maybe all on one page. But if you'd like to make some notes, you want to talk, obviously, let's do that. And make sure that we're covering everything that represents the board. And we also can make that presentation to the district advisory council to make sure that parents have some say so, teachers have a say so, and the students have a say so. When they understand that, we want to be able to communicate. Okay. Any questions about that? I'm not trying to go too fast. If you've got questions, you stop me. Okay. All right. Next thing. I said I'd be quick. School start times. Legislation passed in 2024 that said no high school will start before 8:30. Paul Renner, who was Speaker of the House at the time, read a book. This is what I was told, and it is true. Read a book on an airplane traveling the state, and it had a thing that kids in high school need to sleep more. Whether we can debate that or not, here's the deal. We all want more sleep. We all need more sleep. So they drafted a bill to say that, come one, come all, no high school will start before 8:30. It passed. We fought that. I fought it. There's a huge reason, and then, believe it or not, here was my main reason. That's the board's responsibility. Okay, so if you look at this thing here, if you read page 1, it tells you what y'all's roles and responsibility is. School start times, 150%. I had talked to Bob Harris. I thought we had a lawsuit to be able to fight that, because that is 150% board's domain. The Constitution is set up that your local school board, your local county commission knows what's best for your local people, because why? They live there. Okay, what works in Liberty County or does not work in Liberty County may or may not work in Duval County or Dade County. So what does it do for us in Liberty County? We all use the same buses. So what that would mean for us is that if we move everything to if high school is 8:30, guess what else is going to be 8:30? Hospital school, WR Total, everything's going to shift 30 minutes. It has to. We don't have, Kevin does not have buses designated for high school or one of the caves but it's just not going to work that way. We were not the only ones that had that outcry. So they got to the legislature last year. They put a provision in there that you can opt out of that. So one of the things we have to do, if you read through this, is that we have to have opportunities for, here's what it says, this is on page 2, line 45B. Documentation of strategies considered to implement a later structural time for middle school and high schools. Board meetings, public hearings, and opportunities for parent input to discuss the strategies. Okay, we have an opt out, and it tells you here towards on page 4. If we have something in by July 1st, I'm sorry, it's June 1st of 2026, I think, we can opt out. The very last page of that is a compliance report that I have to do. This is not been approved by the state. They're going to approve it at the next meeting on February 20th. But this is more than likely the form they're going to use. They want us to have public input. They want parents to have opportunity. So I'm going to send that out on Parent Square. I'm going to ask them to respond back to me on Parent Square. I'm going to invite them if they want to come to board meeting and talk to y'all. Guys, I am 195% against changing us to 8:30. It shifts ball practices. It shifts the day. People who work. Man, we got kids, Eric Willis was telling me, he said, I got people there at 7:15 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
7 o'clock, Hosford School's got them lined up, and those people who are trying to get to Tallahassee, they drop them off, they're already in line, and they're by 8 o'clock. It would
So our
affect,
times will be 8:30 to what?
it'd be 8:30 to about 3:30.
You know, right now, school gets out around 3 hours or 3 o'clock. So it just shifts everything 30 minutes. Yeah.
Get out later.
Yeah. So I'm not for that. School technically takes in like a hospital at 8:15. So again, it's a ripple effect. Whatever you do at the high school is gonna affect the other schools. It affects buses, it affects, all that. But it also affects parents. And I just think this is one of those things that if people are saying, coming to the board, saying, Mr. Keever, Mr. Singletary, all of y'all, we got a problem. We need to start school later. They be coming to us. Let y'all make that decision. So I'm gonna ask y'all, at the end of the day, it is totally y'all's domain. I can make a recommendation. Y'all say, I make a motion to make it 8:30. I can make a motion to make it 9 o'clock. But I tell you, me and Kevin will pull our hair out. I think you have a lot of parental dissatisfaction with that. This is just one of those things that didn't even messing with. Just didn't even mess with. But it was one of those things that somebody in leadership, the speaker, had an idea on it, and it got through. People, Speaker of the House get what they want, and he did. But we got it knocked out. So I want to make sure that we get to do our due diligence. Jackson's doing theirs at their meeting tonight, to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We've given everybody an opportunity to talk about it. Any questions for that? And if you disagree, that's okay. I'm just, y'all will make that call, but it is my recommendation to leave it just like it is.
If it ain't broke, don't
If
fix
it
it.
ain't broke, don't fix
I
it.
don't agree with that. However, when we're talking about marketing. That may be something that, people don't like.
Like he said.
I agree. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm just saying. If we're talking about a strategic plan in the same breath as we're talking about something like this. Because I can tell you, some of the homeschoolers, they like going to school 3 days a week. We can't go 3 days a week.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
And I think parental input is critical.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna do that, yeah.
That's what, I mean, when we start looking at our strategic and trying to market, ourselves and so they come back and say, well, why can't we start? Well, we looked at that. That was one thing we looked at.
Okay. That's why I'm
just
sure.
mark it off the plate.
That's why I'm starting this before, so as of right now, we got till July to do this. But I don't want anybody to say, oh, boy, y'all ran that down our throat real quick. I don't want y'all to ever be accused of that. And I know that was an issue with the PP money last year. Look, I don't have any plans to change amounts on that. I'm just not gonna do it. I wanna give people time to, I say grieve it, they're really not grieving, but to debate it, talk about it.
Well, like you said, if parents want their kids to start school later, we would have already heard of it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Now, what it would look like right now, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Oxford School takes in, the kids, they open the doors at about 7:30.
I think earlier would fly quicker than later.
Yeah.
100%.
I do too.
Cause I have a match thinking I picked up early on the bus.
All the time.
People that work in Tallahassee, you gotta realize, most everybody has to be at work at 8 o'clock.
Right.
Dropping a kid off with the gates opening at 7:30 is tough.
Right, already.
So you bump it later and then, and the
It's a big
states
deal.
typically don't want you there at 9 o'clock.
Right.
It-
But if you adjust it 30 minutes, that means that drop off time now becomes 8 o'clock.
Yeah, see,
8 o'clock.
And then you can get that traffic. work.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, it's a.
Well, I make a lot of money in the traffic camera.
But I think
Pick it up.
we're doing the right, by doing outreach on this,
Right.
and not just.
Right, so that's my goal. I'm gonna invite parents to share,
What
to
they want.
share with us. I'm gonna invite them to share with y'all, or reach out to y'all. I'm gonna invite them to come to meet, and we'll let them talk. At the end of the day, y'all represent them. Y'all do. So you're gonna you'll make the ultimate call.
What's the school's historical stance on being able to allow children really early in the morning to be dropped off? What capacity do we have to say drop off doesn't change? 7:15, school's gonna start at 8:30. We have a classroom assigned for kids with somebody there in the lunchroom where they do schoolwork. Has that been anything that's been addressed?
No, but you just have to pay people to be there.
Staffing.
Yes.
Staffing.
I realize that
Staffing.
at least we have at least a few, right, that would need to be there, I would assume earlier, front office, right, somebody in the lunchroom where they'd be staying. In other words, there's a pro and a con. I'm not saying I'm in favor of it or oppose it. I'm just trying to analyze the benefit of one way or another, right? So if you went further back, well, 21st century is gonna be open later, allowing people to come in later, right? They might be coming home later. So if you were open at the same time and then kids were let out later, would it be a benefit? I don't know. I don't know where the statute stands on children being in school for X number of minutes before actual school day begins. If it-
No, there's not, but it really comes back to staffing, because you gotta be prepared for every kid to come at a certain time.
At 7 o'clock.
So again, y'all always gonna have kids riding the bus, but if a kid wanted to come at 7:30, then now I've gotta keep them from 7:30 till 8:45,
So what time are teachers expected to be at work?
8 o'clock.
So if a kid's there at 7:15 and the teacher's there at 8 o'clock, then the school ain't fully staffed at 7:15, right? So
We don't open the doors.
there's a smaller, so they stay in the lunchroom.
Yeah.
Until the teachers are in their class at 8 when the bell rings, then they go. So in other words, they'd be a couple of you watching them in the lunchroom, right? So in other words.
Well, we want them to eat breakfast, so the ones in lunchroom, we try to get them.
They're eating breakfast.
Yeah, we try to get as many of them who do come early to go through the breakfast line.
Yeah.
Not all of them do that, some are eating home, but I'm just saying there would be, if you shift that, like, and I'm using Hosford for an example, because I go up out on Tuesday mornings there. The party bell rings about 8:15. So if you shift that, then drop off would start at 8 o'clock. Now, you can start it at 7:30, but you gotta staff it. That means somebody's gotta be there from 7:30
Right.
all the way home.
So in other words, the board could choose to staff at 7:15, school still starts at 8:30, we just gotta staff it. If we chose to do so.
If you chose to do that, it's got, you got kids.
Yeah, you got to staff it.
7:15 to 8:45, do another, that's when you have this one.
Got an hour, right?
Yeah, you'll have, I think you have this one problems, kids just sitting there.
Well, guys, I mean, even if from a Liberty County resident and a father that's raised 2 kids, school don't only teach education, it teaches life.
Punctuality.
And every one of y'all and every one of us over here, what time did you go to work? You went to work at 7:30, 8 o'clock for 35, 40 years. Now, you're gonna let these kids go to school at 8:30, 9 o'clock. Well, when they get out of school, they're gonna have to revert back to 7:30, 8 o'clock.
I'm with you, Ricky, but I'm telling you, that's the biggest thing right now with homeschooling.
Well,
It's,
I'm
it's
against it 100%, because homeschool, we're not doing anything but an injustice to the
well,
kids.
and you going to school 3 days a week. I don't know of many employers that is gonna employ you 3 days a week.
But
I
that,
mean, you
And
gonna
pay you for 40 hours.
college. I mean, think about when they go to, I mean,
but that's not a problem we created, that's a problem the state created.
State's created, and I'm afraid 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
If
I
they
get
would
it.
have created it, if they would have created it when I was in school, I would have done it too, because.
No,
I
my mom would have
two
said,
days,
"Uh-uh,
wouldn't have to go to school till 9
I
o'clock.
would have, they'd have let me.
They'd let me out there.
You didn't tell me anyhow.
Hey, but
So.
here's what I'm afraid, and I'll be quiet. Then somebody says, 9 o'clock really is the best time. It's just slippery, it's open.
I mean, eat lunch and go.
Yeah, go ahead.
As far as me personally, I don't necessarily see you need to have a time change. I mean, I think having earlier is better personally. But I think it should hit the nail on the head with, if we need to listen to what the community says. I don't think honestly, everybody be like, hey, let's start at 8 o'clock. I don't, or 8:30. I don't think they'd say that. But I think for willing to show it on the board that, hey, we're willing to hear everybody out. Let me hear what you gotta say. Let me hear what you like. And then if we 5 have to oppose what they say because we know dollars, cents, things that the public might not know, and we have to oppose that, then maybe so.
You can defend your position.
That's exactly right.
Right.
They can defend their position, we can defend ours, but I think communicating it out is a great thing to do.
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to start this. I wanted to give you the legislation. That way you can go ahead and prepare yourself. You'll start seeing me send out some parent squares and say, look, we're dealing with this. I talked to the board about it. And so we want to hear your out. It'll be a kind of a standardized letter. We want to hear your response. Please reach out to me personally. Here's my email address. hear the board members address it. If you have concerns or just, hey, this is my opinion on this. That way I can give documentation to the state. We did our due diligence. So that's why I'm starting today. We got till July. So it gives us plenty enough time to vet.
That's fair.
Yep.
I don't think it's gonna be any good change whatsoever.
If I was a bad man, I'd say that there's nothing gonna change.
No, but I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Let it be somebody else.
So I mean, back and say, was there anything else on that? The time thing, anybody want to say? So backing up this strategic plan, when are we planning on finalizing the plan?
So hopefully in the next month.
Okay.
I would love to, have some conversations with parents as well. I'm trying to have the DAC meets next. Just met. If we can have this in place before summertime, I would be pleased with that.
Okay. So I have a few things.
I'm gonna do it anyway. What I'm saying is I'm gonna do what we need to do. I'm gonna lead us in that, but what I'm saying is if you've got some things you want me to let's talk about and possibly tweak it, I'm okay with that. Let's sit down and talk.
Yeah. I would like to mention a few of those things that just my thoughts of the board, it'll take 60 seconds.
Okay.
And if I can, I apologize.
Sure.
Otherwise, we were going off to another thing. Got 60 seconds on this topic. So your goal number one of my thoughts is pertaining to instructional leadership. I know I hear a lot about IXLs and how teachers, some of them may be using IXLs and supplementary education as primary means of education.
Better not be.
I would like us to be clear and show, hey, listen, this leadership is making sure that's not.
Yeah.
This is
Great point, great question. That is always a struggle with our, well, here's what I told teachers, you're the instructional leaders in the classroom. Principals, you're the instructional leaders at your school admin. I'm the instructional leader for the district. That is the IXLs, have always been supplemental stuff. They are in alignment. We've been dealing with that in math. Janet told her that we have a Math Nation curriculum. It's aligned with the standards, what they're going to be tested on. And those IXLs, which is a lot of extra work and practice stuff that supplements that, those are in line with those Math Nation lessons, but not ever meant to be a substitute for curriculum. So yes, that is a constant battle because it is just very easy for a teacher to say, I just call it a lazy teacher that's just not very committed to teaching. Here, do some, and I mean, I'm not gonna say there's no value in those IXLs. There's a lot of work that can happen in that, but it's not the curriculum. It's not the primary thing. And so when we're trying to really work on that bottom quartile for learning gains, we need that extra IXL help, and we utilize it, but not as main curriculum. So that's one of the things I saw when I came in here. I've had that one since day one. Is make sure that they're doing their teaching curriculum.
So just thought maybe state could help. That was
Yes.
one thought. Goal 2, academic achievement. It was mentioned before, ACT prep class. You were talking about ACT scores and improvement. I think that's definitely something to think about. Again, maybe strategize depending on what the board would like to do. Financial management. I know we have in the past received monthly budget versus actuals to the board. I'd absolutely love to see monthly budget versus actuals and have that as an expectation. I think it's just accountability to the public on where their dollars are going. Right.
I did, all the time you start.
That's my first one.
It's 60 seconds on Friday if you want.
Yeah, give me 60 more, all right? This is a big one. This is a big one, all right? I would like, if possible, to see about how we can utilize resources in different manners to see in a different manner, or different manners, that doesn't even make sense, in a different manner to see about how we can get teacher salaries to 105% of surrounding counties. I know the goal was trying to get to 100. I know that's a big goal. That's a big ask. But if you're going to achieve something, I think we need to write it down. It shows the teachers we're trying. It's a plan for us. We're doing what we can. I think it'd be a good plan. And I think when we're 105%, it's going to drop. That's just
47.5 is our goal right now. That's where we're trying to get.
Right
now. 47.5.
We're still away from it.
We're a little ways from it, but we've been inching closer to that. And then I think from there, once we meet that minimum salary that Governor DeSantis and the state has tried to get us to, and they begin adjustments every year to try to get to that, and we've put it there. I think we can absolutely have that conversation of where you want to go from there.
Long-term plan, I think it could be beneficial. Facilities, and a follow-up, I've been working, with Heather and another attorney pertaining to, RFP and grant writing proposal. So hopefully by next meeting, I'll have something for all of you to review, look at, see what you think about, make comments, adjustments. I think that will go in line with this as far as facilities and improvements. If we can have someone help with, bringing in dollars that can be utilized for capital expenditures to improve the facilities, such as a septic tank and drain field right at Oxford School. Something's out there, it could be a benefit. That's my thought on goal 5. 6, I think I saw 1 bus a year. Honestly, I would like to try to shoot for 2. And I saw information on an electric bus.
No,
How about, no?
no.
So I look, here's what I'm finding out on electric buses. If you want to give it to me, here's what they want to do.
We'll take it if you give it.
We'll take it if you give it, and we'll find a little route around here. What we're finding out is expensive to work on.
Yeah.
And the ones, and we apply every year. What they do is they want, it's an environmental thing. They want you to get rid of your fleet. Dixie County got rid of all of their buses. They left a couple for athletic trips and went to total that. Now, he loved them. They love them down there. But, those batteries have a expiration date of sorts. And so when I asked some of those people in the leadership, I said, what y'all gonna do after that? And I said, we're not gonna be here.
Yeah.
That's their answer. And that's not good enough. Me and Kevin talk about this. We want to leave this place better than we found it, but don't leave a problem for the next people who come in. You know, that's a big deal. I don't want to say, you know, that board when Kyle Petty was here, boy, they left us a mess, so they didn't think about this. Kevin didn't think, we don't want that, we don't do that. We want to make it as easy as a transition moving forward. I've asked for 2 buses. That's my ask, but when I tell them that, they say, are you willing to get rid of 10 buses? And I say, no.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, I know that we had that conversation before about electric buses. I'm not really in favor of them. If you want to give us one and with no obligation, sure, we'll take it. But I was talking about 2 buses. Reliable. Our plan, I feel like 1 is not enough. I know that we have cost restrictions. 2 might be if we're shooting for a goal, let's shoot for something harder. I was just thinking 2. I just noticed that.
Well, they hadn't put the infrastructure for charging, so they don't really want to put that in for 2 buses. But I don't want to you have to give them up. Even on the CNG buses. If you want to go with natural gas, they want you to convert them all.
The other thing with the electric buses, I'm not the expert on electric buses, on what the charge range or whatever it is. But we do have 10 semis, all they are expensive, extraordinarily expensive. 252-mile radius range, pull gates off anything, whatever you want to do. But the charge then from the 0% back to 100% costs as much as run a super water line.
Right.
I mean, that's no joke. That's true.
Right.
We've done research at 150 miles at the very most. No air conditioner, no heaters, none of that. 150 miles. Because you stop and start so much, and then the recharge time on, first of all, you ain't gonna have a mechanic to work on.
That's the problem.
Or the tools.
Or the tools.
I mean, none of the tools are the same.
You don't got gold bars for batteries on it.
What they do, they don't care out there, we'll help you for the first year.
Yeah.
Well, first year, right, probably not in there.
Then you
But
start-
after that, you stuck. Correct,
Oh,
yeah.
The whole
But,
thing.
look, I'm not saying, I ain't shot it down, I've just not been successful.
Well, I mean, again, I'm skeptical on the electric, but I do know we need new buses.
I left it in there, that'd be something y'all may say, think it out, I'm okay with that. I just left it in there.
Some more. Last thing on the marketing, I absolutely love the idea. 100% on board marketing. Would love to see it. I would like to see added in exit interviews for any staff that's leaving and any students leaving. I think that goes straight in line with retention and students. I would like to put that back in our goal. So those are some of my conversations. I'll leave it with you to think about it. I know other board members need to discuss it. The last thing I need to talk about today. So hopefully everybody had a chance to look at this, right? I've heard some comments, some people like it. I've heard comments, some people might want to see a darker material. But this right here is one sample of what the track would look like. So this from, so I talked to Rodney with the coating company.
Yeah.
He said, if I understood correctly, there would be 5 layers of rubber that would go down. All right, it would be put down. There would be I think you said a silicone binder, another one go down, silicone binder. When you get to the top coat will be colored. Everything else will be black underneath. It will be just under a ½ inch, and there will be a UV protectant that will be put on it. So here's the deal, everybody knows in Florida sun, everything fades, but there is a protectant that would be put on this, is what I've been told.
How long is it guaranteed to last?
So from my understanding, I did not hear of a guarantee, but they said expectation for these tracks are 7 to 10 years is what I was told. So he said, foot traffic shouldn't be a problem. He said, you gotta be careful. Cleats can't go on it. Chairs would probably not be a good idea. Right, so just something to think about. I said, well, hey, what if people come up, they want to watch a game on the sideline, they want to walk across the track with tennis shoes or, like these boots that I know you don't work in, something like that, right? They wear these boots. They said, no problem. But if you wear, or if you sit on a track with a chair sliding around, you're going to bust it. So anyway, that was just some of the general, my understanding, the pricing that was provided was for this color because of how it was sourced, right? So we need to be happy just to make sure the board's aware, and Kyle and admin, everybody, Kevin, everybody's involved. We need to be happy with the color because it's going to be there a long time, right? Now, I did say earlier, I heard somebody say, hey, what about a darker color? They said we can look at a darker color. I actually already requested it, right? But it's going to be a different price because of the way it's sourced, right? So what was
Can I say
associated
something?
with
My brain works like this, I can't help it.
Sure.
We're talking about, right now, we got a sewage system. And I said, is this in any sort of type of 5-year plan that we know we've got to get taken care of? If you're telling me that this track is only gonna last
7 to 10.
7 to 10 years,
road.
here's what I'm saying, Kyle. If we wanna have a good strategic plan, and I mean something that's, we're gonna leave when we leave. When you leave, I'm out too. So, this would be a great idea to make sure that the people that follow behind us, follow behind Kevin, they know these things going in, like we have a plan. And if it's a 5-year plan, fine. If it's a 10-year plan, we know that's gonna be on it.
Right.
Because that's gonna cost money and a lot of money. So please, somewhere, somebody document this, that track is gonna be 7 to 10 years later.
There's annual maintenance too.
That's what I'm saying.
So
That's people don't think about stuff like that. What's the end game when we're done, and what are our grandkids gonna be looking at? So somewhere along the line, some kind of infrastructure plan needs to be put in place for all this stuff, that we know needs to be done within the first 5 years, within the next 5 years.
Right.
And the money, where's the money gonna come from
Right.
to do it? So, and it would be good for this guy to say, hey, I mean, I know you can't give us a guarantee, a price guarantee for 7 to 10 years, but he could kind of give us a ballpark, that with a gauge of 10 to 20%, it could go up, because of the market. But the color, I'm just talking from Jody, because I'm a woman, but the color looks very pretty, but I don't know what it looks like on a current track.
I like
Stop.
The darker you make it, the hotter it's gonna be. I don't think you wanna go dark.
well, I
Don't
think
go any
so.
darker.
What I've been asked, so George handed that to me and he said, hey, we need to decide a color. Let the board be aware of it. We need to decide, right? Make sure everybody's on the same.
So before the meeting, this is almost I'd say more similar to what we got out there. So me and Mason put it on there And remember the back, the butt wall where the says Liberty Bulldog or whatever, or the bleachers is dark. I think it's more this color. It's not that much of a contrast.
But it would make it stand out a little bit.
It'd
And
be
it's gonna
different.
fade, if it fades.
So I've seen tracks that color. Is it always the school color? Or is it?
So
sometimes just
the
a-
Kevin's got a paint code number for that, so every time we've done, so like Mason had a crew that went over there and painted the bleachers, the away bleachers and the field house, y'all did a bunch of work and painted. We got that code from Kevin, so that all that garnet is all the same garnet, at school, from the school, right?
By the way, can we use some of that paint to paint the baseball thing? That look horrible.
Oh, baseball.
That wall. Look at it. The back wall,
Backdrop, I mean, you know, at the backside,
looks bad.
backside.
I looked at it today.
No, what I was asking, I've seen tracks. Like on TV and stuff, that color. Is that like a common color or does typically the schools use their school colors for the base color of the track?
I think, is we all done got blue? Is that good?
Garbage got blue.
Yep.
So that's what we use their-
Some that are blue.
Usually still comes
Just.
Well,
So you,
So some use school
We
colors.
don't need to get.
and they didn't necessarily.
Should
I'm gonna, you know what I mean, like,
Yeah,
you can paint it, it'll go out of
yeah.
style and.
I think this is very similar to what the Mount Long kind of Florida State. I like,
Oh.
but I want us to, I do want us to get out there and get closer and look, you know.
So in other words, this is one of those things where we wanna be sure of what we're doing, right? But we don't wanna take forever because the longer we take, the longer it takes them to come out. Right, but we wanna be confident in what the color we have, so. If you wanna look at it, everybody wants to take that and look at it and put it on the track, or look at the wall and be like, hey, look, I like it. Or maybe we know the color, we need to decide, but I've heard a couple of things here this evening and today. Just a decision needs to be made on what y'all think.
He's doing it next week, you got to decide.
I'm good with that
We'll
color.
go out in the morning and put it on the wall.
You're good with that color? I'm good with the colors.
What's the limit? What you think, Mr. Nate, and Miss Lynn?
Jerry said.
So nothing ain't good for the floor there.
Small, but it's pretty.
You ain't gonna think.
I think it looks burgundy to me.
You're colorblind or something.
It's perfect.
It's, I mean, it says red.
Kevin and I go out every morning, we put it up there.
Yeah, it's like base, some of your red shades, the red shades are. It's like red.
Red, that
The
red.
white line, we lighted up.
I like it.
It's red.
Okay, sorry.
Nathan, you, anybody?
He's done, yes.
Jody?
Mason's done. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I have two things. And Kyle, I know we talked about this already. I am requesting again, a workshop on our current budget. Just so that the board can be all on the same page as to where we are with the budget. And on our future budget, because I mean, we're getting into March now, so I know we're looking at our next year budget, so anyway, that's all I got, thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day. And again, I'd like to thank the sheriff and Chad Smith for talking with us tonight. The
Special guest.
commissioners have voted against it. For it, excuse me. And I appreciate our board. We've got a good board to work together. Sometimes we talk a little long, but I appreciate it. Seriously, everybody pray for our staff and students that got this flu one on. They need prayer, everybody does. Thank you. James?
Thank y'all, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day to all the women.
Yeah.
Boom.
Sheriff, appreciate y'all coming. You need any help with anything to do with those traffic signs and the process, let me know, I'm all for it. I may be the first one to get the citation, but it's even on the call. Whether the line's working or not, they sent it to me, I know I did it, because I myself have got stopped over there already. For letting know. School wasn't in, but I mean, it still could happen. Anyway, Jody, I'm gonna tell you, so Andy won't happy Valentine's Day coming up. Renee, happy Valentine's, Miss Laura, happy Valentine's, Miss Lynn. The rest of you guys, y'all better tell your old lady, write it down.
Already got.
Remember Kyle's rule, Dollar General.
Dollar General should.
Don't get just one thing, you better get 4 back.
I ain't got it, you don't need.
Hope everybody has a great Valentine's Day, and thank y'all for what you do.
13, closing comment, Mr. 14, need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Jody, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Keith, it's now adjourned. Hey, guys.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.